Hey guys, so right out of the gate, if I'm being honest, the artwork was a lot more janky in this episode compared to previous ones, particularly in that like beginning section where Kaido and the Tobiropo have their meeting. Like just pretty much within that section alone, there was more than a few times where the Tobiropo especially, looked very off model or just outright their pretty much character designs looked it looked like that they were only halfway finished they're only halfway finished in the whole drawing phase, and I know that more often than not that pretty much is a standard thing what happens with the anime in regards to this, but here it becomes but here I think it's just because of the pacing of that first chunk of the episode, but it became a really noticeable problem, particularly because of how this episode was paced and how Toei did kind of drag out a lot of things in this episode. But yeah, art and animation was definitely not a particular, but yeah, artwork was definitely not a particular high point of this episode. And although I will give credit to the animation, the animation itself, it was pretty good. But yeah, just off model artwork, just character designs looking like they're only half drawn, half finished or whatnot, half finished in the drawing phase. Yeah, it's just little things like that really became a noticeable problem for me in this episode. Um, anyway, though, we learn what we learn in that meeting that Kaido has given the Tobiropo a task, which is capture Yamato, because Kaido himself apparently has an announcement that he wants to make that involves his wayward son. And if they can do that, then the Tobiropo will have the opportunity to challenge one of the top officers for their position. And a couple things to take note of. First, this whole assignment is basically doomed to fail. Like you can tell, the whole challenge is really just a dangling carrot stick that Kaido was using in order to motivate the Tobiropo in order to get the job done. But I think the thing is, I think he's more than likely expecting them to fail, and all he's hoping to get out of this is he's trying to draw Yamato out into the open, which in itself is a very interesting bit of characterization for Kaido, because it shows that while he probably does have a genuine faith in the Tobiropo's abilities and he does genuinely care about his crew, neither is he above using scheming motivational tactics either, because the way he sees it, whether they actually succeed or not in capturing Yamato, it doesn't matter. It's all about what they can do to just provoke Yamato, to just provoke him to come out of hiding, which shows a greater sense of just how radically Kaido views how radically that Kaido has this view of a person's life can only be judged by how they die or how they perform in battle. Like it really shows in this moment pretty much how Kaido how Kaido views and holds to that like motto about being a pirate. But it also shows just how much. But the other thing about it is that I guess in typical fashion, because Kaido is Yamato's father, it does predict it does kind of show just from how much Kaido can predict what pretty much Yamato will do. Like there's this real sense within this episode, just within that section, that what pretty much Kaido is trying that this what in Kaido's trying to draw Yamato out, you can tell that he knows that he knows Yamato will respond one way or another. So yeah, in some ways, if Yamato does get involved in this, he will be playing right into Kaido his father's trap. Now, supposedly, this is the second time I'm going to have to talk about a character use of Conqueror Hockey, because apparently that there was a little bit of a debate going on on the Crunchyroll comment section as to whether or not this is the first time we've seen Kid use Conqueror's Hockey, and to my knowledge, despite it probably being the most bloated and somewhat forgettable part of the arc, in terms of pacing, I distinctly remember that we have already seen him use or awaken Conqueror's Hockey during the whole prison mine section of the story. So yeah, he's had it for a while, and even if we didn't get that, even if we didn't get that, it really wouldn't be. Even if we didn't get like a moment like that, it still wouldn't be that hard to believe that he knows how to use it. Like if like one thing I've kind of realized when it comes to Conqueror's hockey and the kind of narrative rules of it for when it the narrative rules of it for of how One Piece approaches it is that pretty much all the main players you can think of more than likely have Conqueror's hockey. So yeah. Um, Also, I'm not sure when this happened, but supposedly we did get an official name for Kid's Devil Fruit, which unsurprisingly, the pretty much official name of it is pretty much the Jiki Jiki no Mi, which translates out to Magnet Fruit. So yeah, there you go. But again, it's kind of one of those things where we pretty much all saw it coming. We didn't. It couldn't have been anything else. Like like Kid's powers are literally a magnet. So we kind of knew it was going to be that anyway. Also, it's kind of surprising that I'm about to say this, but this is one of those episodes where the pacing felt so off kilter at times that when we would cut to a moment with the Straw Hats in this episode, those are the moments that kind of felt like the most sluggish out of them all throughout the episode. Like it's one of those. This is one of those weird episodes where when we're focusing on Kaido, the Toby Roppo, and even what Kid and the Kid Pirates were doing, when you focus on all the secondary characters, that in itself is the most interesting part of the episode. But weirdly when we're focusing on any of the main players like Luffy, Zoro, or the Straw Hats in general, that was the part of the episode that was kind of the most sluggish, or I don't know, I don't want to say dull, but just kind of, it was the least interesting part, and or just felt the slowest. And I don't think it was like the flashbacks either, but I think it's just more one of those things where when it comes to the Straw Hats, there's kind of this predictability where we know if anyone's going to do anything to blow the operation wide open, it's going to be them, like especially Zoro and Luffy in this episode. We know they're going to be the ones to blow everything in the kingdom, get so too emotional and blow everything. It's just a matter of waiting when the ball is going to drop, so to speak. And again, Toei, and what does make it worse is that Toei did pretty much drag it out until the end. Like it wasn't until pretty much Zoro kind of did the exact same thing he chastised Luffy for, that it kind of got that way again. And although, again, I did find it hilarious how, in typical fashion, Zoro's attempts to stop Luffy from making a ruckus pretty much ended up causing an even bigger problem. Even Kid and his crew called him out on this. Like, you're chastising him for causing a problem, but you're causing an even bigger problem, dumbass. Like, yeah, I just kind of love that. Like, it was particularly funny, but yeah, it's like everything that was building up to that. That's the part that felt like the slowest for me. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Animus Crunchyroll, and be sure to hit the notification bell. Hit the subscribe button, and be sure to just share this video around, guys. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.